Well, greetings everyone. Welcome to Luminata. Merry Christmas. Happy solstice. And I hope all of you are ready to transform darkness into light. Yes. That is the theme tonight. And at the time of the winter solstice, we have the cosmic picture of the birth of the light, which takes place, and the journey of the sun in the heavens is a kind of cosmic picture of the evolution of the soul. The solstice is a beautiful time because it represents the birth of the light in the human soul, out of darkness into light. So we're very fortunate to have our illustrious local shaman, John Rasmussen, with us tonight. And by the way, this is our 11th year in business at this location, Luminata, and our 12th Christmas season, December. So we're very excited. And John has been with us probably for about 9 or 10 of those years, coming often during the course of the year. So he's going to talk to us tonight on the theme of using challenges in life as a catalyst for inner awakening and the transformation of our soul. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to John Rasmussen.
Thank you. I decided to wear my gold scarf to improve my illustriousness, based on what Emery said. Anyway, gosh, it's so great to see you all, and it's really my honor to be here in your presence, and I really appreciate, us coming together like this, because it's all of us together tonight that are bringing in the light, increasing the light. And we are fundamentally light beings. We're children of the sun, of the stars. You've heard this, right? The Inca Quechua word translated is children of the sun and of the Mother Earth as well. And, we're about light, we're about warmth, right? We're warm-blooded, we love the heat, we have fires to warm ourselves. We don't particularly like freezing and being in the dark. So this is our nature. And, all of you here are, I think it's safe to say, very good people, right? You're good, you're nice. I don't think you'd be here so much if you... Right? Well, this is good. I'm glad you said that, 'cause that plays in perfectly. And out and watching the video, I always videotape and load this for people who can't make it. And I don't think the Grinch will be watching my videos, right? So, here we are. And, all of us here are truly making an effort, like you said, to be that, to be the nice light, to be the beings that bring lightness and warmth and kindness, and but what happens is, and then before I get into it, I think we're going to open sacred space. Always nice to do that before these talks, and call on the rest of the team, the non-physical beings that see us and know us and are at our beck and call. I, as a shaman, am simply a mediator here. A mediator of souls between the worlds is the definition. I don't know how many of you may know my story, but when I was first trying to figure out what I'm really here to do, my life's purpose, my work, I studied a lot of different healers and healing modalities and spiritual traditions and shamans. And I went to one of my favorite energy medicine guys, and that day it was like, okay, what do you want to work on? I said, I want to know what I'm here to do. Let's figure it out once and for all. Please help, because I'm dying in this job that I have right now at the time. And it wasn't me. So he went off into his altered state, and he came back and he said, the guides are telling me that you are a mediator of souls between the worlds. Yeah, I know, it sounds cool, but at the time I had no idea what that was. And he didn't either, actually. But he said, it'll find you. You'll finally somehow synchronistically run into something. About 3 years after that, I sat down with I read a book by Alberto Villoldo, who worked with the Caro Indians and all this, and I went to his workshop and sat down, and he sat down, and the first thing he said is, a shaman is just a mediator of souls between the worlds. So that was the, undeniable 2x4, across the head. So I dove in, and it's been amazing. But so just, I like to remind you of that there isn't anybody greater than you. There's nobody above you. We are not, more something than you just because I do this work, or I play this role, or I'm this mediator. It's really you, and I'm going to do my best to mediate tonight, as you have come here and asked essentially for that, for me and my lineage, my Caro lineage, and all the rest of the team. So let's call on the team, and when I'm doing this, some of you may have heard it already, but we're calling on all the sort of power animals of the Caro lineage in each direction, the archetypes for this work, and the earth and the heavens, and we're making us, even more sacred space than we're already in, which of course is hard to improve upon. But basically all we're doing is calling on the team in order for us to have their support, which is always there for us, unconditionally, no matter what. So let's do that. And so in your mind, it's always nice to think and acknowledge who that is for you, and that's for you to decide, typically. So let's stand up and face the south. Yeah. All right, here we go. To the winds of the south, Sachamama, Hatunamaru, great serpent, mother of the waters, the rivers, the galaxies, the roads that bring us together. Hold us in this healing space. Wrap your coils of light around us. Help us to shed the heavy energies and wounds the way you shed your skin, which is all at once, right here, right now, so that we can walk in beauty. Be with us. Oh, and to the west. To the winds of the west, Otorongo, great jaguar. Come protect this medicine space for us. Teach us your ways. Help us to leap beyond the limiting myths and beliefs and ancestral influences that no longer serve us, and instead teach us to be warriors, but warriors who have no need to engage in battle, internally or externally. Instead, warriors of light, luminous beings who are willing and able to use our co-creative abilities to dream our world into being with courage and love. Be with us. To the winds of the north, great healers, wisdom keepers, lineages of all ancestors and guardians of this land, hold us in the ancient wisdom and the wisdom to come. We honor you who come before us, and you who will come after us, our children's children. Help us take our seats with you we've never left, as free, joyful, childlike co-creators. And hummingbird Siwarkinti, come help us to drink of the nectar of life, to receive unconditionally, and do that which seems impossible as you do. Be with us. To the winds of the east, Hatun Kuntur, great condor, Apuchi, Anka, eagle. Help us to soar high, have the broadest perspective, the clearest vision. And owl, help us to see even in the times of darkness. And to call on our greatest, most fulfilling, most joyful destiny to dream the world into being with our greatest vision, so that we can fly wing to wing with great spirit. That we can listen to our hearts, put our hearts above our head, and honor the feminine once again in this way fully. Be with us. Earth, Mother Earth, Pachamama. Thank you, Mother. Thank you for being in this carpet, in the floor, the stone people, the plant people, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlers, the fin, the furred, and the winged ones. All our relations. that help us to embody their characteristics and instincts when we need them, their medicine. And thank you, Mother, for taking the heavy energies from us as you do our waste and mulching it, so we don't have to carry it around any longer. We can be free to continue to dream our world into being, to create here on your belly in these bodies. Titaita, Father, Son, Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, Hatun Chaska, Star Brothers and Sisters. Thank you for showering us with your energy, your light, your cycles that make life possible for us, and doing this unconditionally, without judgment, teaching us to treat ourselves and each other this way. Great Spirit lit teacher, Wirakocha, Wakatanka, God, creator of all that is. You are known by 1,000 names, yet the unnameable one that dwells within us and all around us in all forms. Thank you for bringing us together to sing this song of life one more day, to dance this dance of co-creation, to take it beyond where it's been before. New levels of beauty and light and joy and love. So when we speak of darkness, right? We speak that word. It comes in a lot of forms. It can come in mostly internally in terms of heaviness and anger and depression, and you know what I'm talking about when you're in those dark moments, right? And that's really the crux of what we're tonight in the most practical, doable way and simple way I can bring you to be able to not succumb to that, to not let that win out over us. It can also come in the form of energies or people around us and situations and world events and so on, right? The ones that don't seem nice and kind and light. So really what it comes down to is, how do we first and foremost sort of protect ourselves from that kind of energy latching on, getting to us. It's okay to, of course, anger and sadness and all these emotions are normal part of the theater. We're not talking about not processing those. That's really important, right? That's critical, that we honor the feminine in our bodies and our emotions and really process fully in the moment that which has hurt us, which is painful. Crying, screaming, yelling, till the heavy energy that we can't process goes out our first chakra into the earth and gets mulched and turned into new light, new life. Mm-hmm. Just like our food, the waste from our combustion digestion process goes into the earth, gets turned into new food. That's the beauty of being here. It's a free and given, graceful thing that the earth provides for us, and that the sun then, and the sun behind the sun, Inti Taita, God, source, can bring in the energy needed to create and to heal and to combust these energies internally. And so here's the thing that that kind of breaks it down in a very simple form. I work on this a lot with my clients, it turns out. That those heavy energies or entities or darkness that's around you, that you see happening, that you're exposed to, they can only hold or stay with you if they have something to hold on to, something to grip onto internally. Okay? And it turns out that hook is our own self-judgment, guilt and shame. That where we are getting ourselves is the only way that dark energy can get us. Does that make sense at this point? Yeah. So we're going to do a journey that helps to address that helps to clear that, because it turns out that once you clear any of the past judgments and guilt and shame and from past lives, even all that's contained in our soul, then you have a much better chance of not getting affected by the dark. Okay? So it's really key, because we can spend a lot of time and energy trying to manage that, keep away from it, try not to watch it, don't look at it, suppress our emotions, rise above, do whatever. But that all that time and energy then is taken away from your just natural ability to be a visionary, to be imagining what you want, preferably in the world, to dream our world into being, right? Because that's our real power here as co-creators of all consciousness, all beings, all things are co-creating that way consciously. But we humans are the ones that tend to struggle with this the most, right? And we don't have to go into how it all started and why that's all out there. But we really need to address that and remove that hook, because it's also very difficult, obviously, to change the external situation or fully protect yourself. As shamans, we get these initiation rites, and it's like the bands of power, because we're out, really exposing ourselves constantly in an altered state on the energetic level to everything in our village, in our global village. And we're, a point of attention. You're all looking at me, you're not looking at each other, right? So there's a lot that comes at us, right? So it would take a lot of energy in my highly sensitive, natural sort of way of being to sort of manage that. And this is a room of very friendly, beautiful, right? It's much more difficult out in the world. And then in terms of even non-physical beings and entities that could be heavily wounded and dark and malicious and all that kind of stuff, right? So this helps us to have a lot of that filtered out naturally. These sort of bands of power. It's like a cheesecloth that's been wrapped around me by my Karo teachers. So the energy I need to track and read comes in and to help do my work, but the heavy energy just hits and goes directly into the earth for me. But like I said, like you could have all that protection and you can have an amazing non-physical team of protectors and really good mindset around all that. But if you have that self-judgment or guilt or doubt or division within you, it just opens it up. It says, come on in. So this is the thing. So whenever I'm doing extractions or helping people ward off, sorcery or just any kind of heaviness in the world, dark energy, I definitely have to address this, which we're going to do tonight. This thing that would otherwise open it all up again. Okay, so and then there's the things like the Palo Santo and sage. There's always ways to cleanse and clear what might have already gotten in there and be causing you to experience that darkness. So we do, we can cleanse our energy body. If I feel it like I've let something in, I can do this and it helps to clear it. Palo Santo, I think you carry it here in the store. So any questions at this point about that concept that I mentioned, I've talked about? No. So, how many of you are feeling like you've been struggling of late, particularly more than usual with those kind of feelings and energies? Yeah. And so we know the wisdom teachings, right? I mean, all these, you hopefully you've read all the books in here, and it's like, mentally we know we can forgive and we can focus on something else and we can let go, and there's all the techniques, right? Meditate and focus on the light. There's numerous techniques. But that's mostly the psycho-spiritual, the mental layer. And then we have the mythic, which is the ritual and ceremony, and then we have the soul level, the energy body that's many lifetimes spans, right? So, in shamanism, we like to address each layer, each and every layer, okay? So that's the, you know, the Palo Santo, the plant medicine, the act of doing the cleansing, right? That's the mythic, that's ritual, ceremony, images, symbols. As long as I do that, I don't have to work so hard here, just trying to imagining it, right? So it's always helpful to do something, some kind of movement, art, music, poetry. And then there's, you know, cord cutting techniques. I think I've shown a lot of people the kahuna break that I learned, I think, from Diana Steibel and the theta healing process, where we rub our hands together, build up a little energy, squeegee out the cords, the tubes from the energy, and then cut and smooth. Okay? So try it. Everybody rub. We're gonna cut everything before this moment. Push away 3 times, and then with the other hand, cut down across all your chakras and up to smooth. It's a wonderful technique when you just can't get your mind to slow down and clear. And, yeah, bless you.
Thank you.
It's probably the Palo Santo. So, and there's, you know, crystals and wands, and say, like, find the one that you resonate. I do kind of all of them, you know. I mean, I like to just use whatever works, and we're changing all the time, so it could be something different as we go. So, what else can I say about that? Oh, yes. So, when we're concerned with, well, what about that person? If that person would just stop being mean, I could relax and be happy, like normal, glowing light self. It's like, get rid of all the darkness. It's dark, right? Almost impossible, right? Maybe impossible. I don't know. You could be discerning. You could certainly stay away from that's a good idea. But it's hard to do that from the non-physical world, right? There's a lot of those sort of opportunistic beings floating around that we'll see where you've got the opening and maybe hook in. And you know, they do an amazing job of pulling you in, right? These malicious energies, these dark energies, feed off of your emotions and your anger. So that I've worked with clients that once this thing gets a hold of them, they'll create conflicts in their family and their work just to get everybody worked up, and then soak up that energy. Yeah, right? If there's no energy to soak up, they go away. So that's another reason why it's really good to master this, to really, you know, do all the work, do all the spiritual teachings, and really get yourself to a place where you can be angry for a while, process it, release it, and then be over it, for example, right? Be heavy, be depressed, be sad, cry, process it, then get over it, right? The saying that came to me today was, you can take light to the dark, but you can't make him see. Okay? Because we all think, you know, we're all these light beings. Like, if I just love them and if I bring them my joy and my, you know, they'll change. They'll be, you know, they'll let go of their dark ways. And it's like, maybe, but, oh man, could be a full-time job, right? So it's, and if you don't have this other piece down, then you're really only sort of setting yourself up to take on all of that and have that really hold you down. Have you experienced this? How many of you have experienced these moments where you don't know what's going on? How come I'm so messed up right now?
Yep. Oh, yes.
You know, it's not me, right? Yeah. So that's what it is, quite frankly, you know? Yes.
I just have a question, like, I've gone to people knowing that they're in their darkness, can't show the light, but what if you bring your shadow in and bring the dark to the dark? Does that ever pull? Just curious about that.
Yeah, if this is something like you do, you've signed up to help people heal,
Yeah.
perhaps. Or you're doing it for a friend or something. There is a lot to be said by what we call non-engagement, right? In shamanism, we learn to meet whoever we're going to hopefully help where they're at. It's like shapeshift. So that's right. I mean, we all have a little bit of everything in us, right? That's shadow work. You have to embrace all of your negative bits, right? And so, yeah, if you can meet them there, such that they go, oh yeah, let's hang out. Then you can begin. You have an opportunity to shift it, to start to slowly bring the light, and they may take you up on that, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just curious because I know like when you bring light, there's usually you want to stomp it out kind of thing.
Yeah, it ends up like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're not, that's what I mean. If they're not asking, if you bring the light, but they don't want to see it or they can't see it, then you're just dumping, you're just wasting energy, basically, right? So yeah, there is a chance, and that is one of our primary teachings and processes in shamanism, to be able to shapeshift, which requires us to be really unattached to this notion and these beliefs and these sacred cows that, oh no, I can never, I can't do that. I you know what I mean? I'm not going to let myself go in this way. But if you can do it and you have the tools and the processes to pull back out again, then you're good. It can be very effective. It's a good question. Yeah. Any other questions at this point? Before we do the
this
trick?
again.
Yeah, so you rub it's kind of weird because you have to twist one hand out, but you're rubbing together around the third chakra. You push out 3 times, then let this hand rest, and then with the other hand you cut and smooth. And it really works. It's amazing. I mean, it's like instant meditates. I call it instant Eckhart Tolle, being present in the moment of now, because these cords go to the past and the future, and you're just cutting them. You're doing it mythically, so you're giving your brain a chance to just stay here. It's really nice.
Collection and threw it away.
Yeah. And I joke a little bit, but not really. I mean, you can use this. If you are standing in front of somebody that is taking all of your energy and is somebody you really want to run, but for whatever social reasons you can't, you have to stay and continue the conversation. Then after you've done this for a while, your body learns, what that is. So, if I'm talking to that person and I'm trying to be pleasant, I'll just, do this. And I've cut the engagement, I've cut the cord. So I can stay and talk still with the brain and the, cordiality, but there's no energy being sucked from me. It's huge, huge.
That's why in Italy they have all these hand motions.
Right? Yeah, it's constantly stirring up. No, I mean, and that's why in those kung fu movies, those masters do all that stuff. Why do they face you? Why don't they just start punching? Why do they all go through there? Because they're literally manipulating the energy to the best of their ability before they even start. I mean, it's the shamanic principle of if you can do it energetically first, then mythically, then mentally, then physically, that's working downstream, and it's a more powerful way to approach anything really.
So I'm going to assume, like, when you're in that social situation, what I visualize and seeing, so you've done that, your body kind of knows it. Do you find then that generally that person that you've been engaged with, that they say, oh, I've got to go get a glass of water, or I've got to go, that they start walking?
There's
that
nothing there for them.
downstream, that
Nothing.
they're moving
You got
on.
it. It's amazing. I mean, and that's true like for all of these situations, the non-physical, they will eventually just leave you alone. If you do, if you have these tools and these methods for not letting them hook, they go away. It's a huge quality of life improvement. issue, right? So I'm going to do this, I'm going to guide you on a journey that is going to take us back to, because remember, the idea here is that if we can clear all and every way in which you have doubted yourself, judged yourself, right, questioned whether you really are good or not, right, or guilty about something you did or didn't do or should have done, this kind of thing. We gotta clear that. We gotta forgive all of that. All of it, without exception. In fact, we gotta go that further step and say there literally was nothing to forgive. Right? Because no victim, perpetrator, rescuer, the shamanic. It's a little hard for people, but you gotta go, look, whatever role I played in the theater in the past, there was something else going on, and so I'm gonna release it now, today. Okay. It's not easy, okay? This isn't 100%, there's gonna be times where you still catch yourself getting down on yourself. I shouldn't have said that. I wish I do it all the time. Hypersensitive, and I want to be a good person all the time, but I'm always, putting my foot in my mouth and saying something that I later go, oh, why? But so you gotta check that. You gotta go, no, it's cool, it's good. Whatever it was, it's like shadow work. Whatever it was, there was sort of like that person got some contrast from me, my role in their theater in that moment, and it may have been painful, and I never want to cause pain, but I can't control everybody, right? Half the people are going to see what you do as good, and half will not like it, and so you can't control anybody else's experience of you. Mm-hmm. So don't take it back on you. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you better. It doesn't solve it. You can go forward thinking, how can I be more of what I want to be, more nice, more careful with what I say. I mean, you can do all of that going forward. This isn't like condoning, totally malicious behavior going forward, because if people worry about that, well, if you forgive, if there's no, don't worry about it. Okay, you're all good. So we're gonna go back when it's not gonna necessarily register completely in your brain. When we do these journeys, some people go, I don't see anything, I couldn't follow along. And that's because there's this bogus expectation that that's necessary. You know what I mean? We're working down here on the energetic and the mythic. The brain is way up here. It doesn't even need to participate, quite frankly, in this journey. So you could be going off or struggling with a lot. We did the break, so maybe you won't be struggling with a lot of thoughts. But just know that as I guide you on this, if you're having trouble, quote unquote, seeing it in your mind's eye and your imagination, then just make it up. Imagine, use your imagination. I use this technique because I can't see. Everyone else in the class can see. I can't see. I want to quit shaman school or whatever. It happens all the time. And I go, well, close your eyes. So let's try this, everybody. Close your eyes for a second. And in your mind's eye, imagine a beach. Just picture a beach. And what color is the sand? And is it a curved beach or a flat beach? Are there trees around your beach? If you want, you've already pictured it. Do you notice any of that? What kind of water? What color water? Okay, so open your eyes. Did anybody not see a beach? Okay, so you all can see. You all have psychic vision abilities, because that's what it is. It's not, I'm waiting. Sometimes it is, there's classes around, like if you're reading somebody, you have to go to the black screen and you wait for something to come up. Yeah, that's a thing, right? But if you don't, it's okay to, well, what would it be? Because where does that come from? Where did that beach in your mind come from? You all had a different looking beach in your mind, right? So where were you? Did you go to an actual beach somewhere on the planet? Maybe, right? You were actually seeing it, right? So, you get what I'm saying? So when we do these journeys and anything else you do like this, just know that it's not about what your little frontal lobe can register. It's a much bigger thing going on. So just come along with me. I'm going to guide you essentially back in time, and we're going to be angels of light. Our luminous bodies, our basic essential self is going to go on this journey. And so you're going to be a ball of light, and you can have me with you, or you could have your other team members, angels, anybody, okay, from any religion, what have you, spiritual tradition. Bring them all. And then we're going to stop at each moment in this life and past lives where you were sitting there going, oh, I'm no good. I don't know if I'm good. I don't know if that was, the guilt, the shame, the doubt, the division. And that team of lights is going to show up in that moment back in time and go, hey, relax. You're good. You did good. All is forgiven. It's okay. Just, so you're going to be telling yourself that from the past. Does that sound good? Isn't that cool? Because we can do that. We can go back in time and we can do this. And it changes from this moment forward how you deal with, these situations and how much darkness you're being affected by out there in the world and the non-physical. Okay. And maybe internally, maybe an entity or two that needs to go, they'll go. We'll kick them out too, just in case. And we're gonna, it's pretty fast, so that's what I mean by this ordinary linear time won't be able to keep up. You can imagine, right? We'd be here for weeks. So it's more of just the intent, and then when we start the journey, we're gonna go, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Way back as far as we can go. Okay, ready? How's everybody feeling? Anybody feeling physically anything in their body at the moment that's odd or painful or strange?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh, if you want to share.
It's just fine. There's just been a lot of congestion right here.
Okay.
And I've done a lot of protection right here, and yet there's a lot
okay.
of just, it's
go.
ready for it to be released. Okay.
Gonna go, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anybody else? You feeling good? Awesome, okay.
Is everybody warm enough? Should I turn the heat
Oh,
on?
yeah.
Cold.
What's that?
It's a little cold.
A little bit cold?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have. What? Oh,
I'll turn the heat on then. I could have done it from over there, but didn't want to.
you want to show off.
Alarm anybody.
You want to steal the show. Steal my thunder.
And the flame is good.
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't put my arm in it yet, so we're okay. Catch a fire, don't worry. I'm friendly with fire.
Thank you. It's already started.
Okay, it's starting to move. Good. Excellent. Okay. Here we go. Close your eyes, a few deep breaths. In through your nose. Let the breath fall out. Relax, lazy, out your mouth. And I want you to feel the source energy, the light of all creation coming in through the top of your head, your crown chakra, freely flowing down your spine, enlightening and warming all of your chakras. Combusting any heavy energies from the day or recently or any time. and allowing that combustion product to go out to your base chakra, the perineum, the base of your body, into the earth. And seeing that light filling your entire luminous body, every cell, every system, every organ, every chakra. Getting you back to your original, bright nature. And then I'd like you to imagine going down into your heart. And seeing your heart chakra bright and clear. Seeing that strong connection to the earth as you look down from your heart chakra, and seeing the beam of light coming in from the source through the top of your head as you look up from your heart. And then imagine lifting out through that beam of light, rising up above your body, looking down, seeing your body sitting in the chair, going a little further up to the ceiling and seeing the whole room. Imagine that. And continue up through the roof, out into space toward the stars, your star brothers and sisters, and the worlds of pure spirit. And meeting up with your non-physical team, the angels, and with that team, you begin to travel back in time, in this lifetime. You go back to every place and time where you were questioning yourself, grieving through shame and guilt. And we're going to stop at each time, and I want you to address yourself. That you looks up in that moment and sees and senses this light, this angel, all these angels. Tell that you are fine. You have done well. All is well. All is forgiven. There is nothing to forgive. Remember your true nature. The power of your love and your life. Bring that to yourself. Let us shower you with it. And keep going back in time to each moment and doing that same thing. In this lifetime and past lives, let's go back. You are loved. All is well. There's nothing to forgive. Let it go. You are loved unconditionally. We love you unconditionally. You love unconditionally. You love yourself easily that way. And if you find any heaviness along the way, breathe it out. Release it into the flame, into the fire to be combusted, to be mulched, to be turned into new life. You're feeding all that is. With this heavy energy, this fertilizer, you don't need to hold on to any longer. It does nobody any good for you to hold on to it. Listen to those angels. Listen to this self, this angelic self of you, this spirit. Feel that grace and that love completely. All the way back to the very origin of your soul. The very first time you existed. Now we're going to shoot forward in time, seeing all the clarity of the lifetimes past, having been freed of this guilt, this shame, this doubt, this division. And for fun, we're going to go forward in time a little bit, for all the times you're going to mess up. Let's go right in front of your face in those moments and say, it's okay. You're forgiven. All is well. All is forgiven. What a bright, beautiful soul you are. And notice the world, how the world itself has shifted, how there's more light and more people can see the light, and maybe more will give up on their dark and malicious ways, because there's nothing more to feed off of. And they will begin their journey of healing, coming back to their true nature of light. Because you had the courage to do this. You had the courage to forgive. yourself, love yourself unconditionally. To know that the dark that still exists within you or within the theater in general cannot block out the light anymore. It pales, it's minuscule in comparison. It doesn't even cast a shadow anymore. Your light shines brightly everywhere, all the time. Even in your heaviest moments. You're still a gift. You're still a light. A force of good to all that is. Now as a child of the sun and of the earth, come back to your earthly body. Your mother had given birth to, that the feminine is held and holds you in the beautiful Mother Earth. A vessel for the light, a cup of light. The infinite, never-ending light, eternal. And see your energy centers reattaching at each chakra to the spinal cord, re-engaging completely, full presence with this physical body. Rub your hands together and feel your face, feel your body. This beautiful vessel of light. So the Inca translation for K'ero, the tribe name of my, Peruvian teachers, that literally translate to cup. So the K'ero, or the cup of the Inca, the sunlight, the children of the sun. So I wanted you to feel that, sense that, know that you are that as well. How's everybody feeling? You feeling okay? Mm-hmm. Feeling good in the body? Are you present? So as we go back out into the world, and it hits you, you can come back to this moment, you can tap into this moment. This is available to you now, okay? The awareness is always available to you, everything we talked about. And again, it's okay to participate and get those emotions and those passions going, and the anger and the sadness, and we're still going to experience the 6 painful human experiences of loss, abuse, betrayal, abandonment, neglect, and engulfment. That's part of the theater. Okay, it's all going to be happening. And use the tools, use the smudging, use the Luna break. Use all of the wisdom teachings you've learned, yeah? But then check yourself if you are doing the doubting, the judging, the questioning of yourself. Could I be better? Should I be better? Am I not good? Just check it. blow it into something or just blow it out. Whew, to let it go. Call on, if you're particularly challenged with heavy energy or entity of some sort, darkness of some sort, and you need some help, call on the team. Help me take care of this. Remind me how much you love me, how good I am. Right? And that's it. Pretty simple. It's all doable. Okay? Any questions, any thoughts, any questions about the journey, anything before we go? Good? All right. Go forth and shine. Be the light. It's so much more predominant than any of the dark. Trust me, even though it looks like there's a lot out there, there's way more light. You are it. And just remember that.
I had a teacher friend who said, in a battle between light and dark, light always wins.
Always.
The presence of light, just like the presence of the sun, vanishes or dissolves darkness. The presence of the sun dissolves the dark. It doesn't mean there won't be shadows, but of course.
Good. I mean, remember, like, how much energy would it take? What would we have to do in this room to make it pitch black and keep it that way? We forget about it, right? There's no way. There's just no way. It's not even, you couldn't if you tried. That's the point. Dark can't even prevail if you try. Right? So, yeah. We're good. All good.
Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming
Thank
tonight.
you so much.
And also a little commercial announcement. We are open for business, and John has books and CDs available. And if you want to do some Christmas or holiday shopping, we're open. And we're open tomorrow at 10 to 10 to
John's going to buy himself his owl. And there's more, I believe, I hope.
Saturday tomorrow.
I saw that. I was just like, that's John.
Did you? Yeah. Good. Yeah.
See these up there?
There's no
Oh.
question.
Yeah, sorry. You have a budget.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wise owl.
How they can see even in the dark.
They see.
Does all its,
Perfect.
yeah. So that's always good medicine to help us see through the darkness as light beings. Good medicine. So bonus clip. Remember that when you're not spending energy judging yourself and fighting off the darkness, you have much more energy available to change your perception of what you're observing, of what's going on. Remember, you can always look for another perspective. Anything heavy that's happened, difficult that's happened, you can always look at it from a different angle. Maybe it's not that, maybe it's this, So remember, the story you tell becomes the reality, so be the master.
Oh, yeah.
With your power, your strength, your light, to have a story that feels better.
Turns darkness into light.
Yeah. Okay.